So I'm ready for our next guest when my awesome team is ready to bring them up. And I have the amazing Mary Fisher Day. Let's put up Mary's text code and say this. Awesome. So Mary, one of my favorite names, Mrs. Nacho's name is Mary. And what you do in the dental world is just so awesome. And I know you've been on before, but I just orient our audience who you are, what's the name of your company, and what do you do in your daily life to help dentists?
Yes. Hey, everyone. I'm Mary Fisher Day. I'm the owner of the dental business, and I help dentists make the most important decisions of their career so that they don't cry inside.
I like that. That's Nacho language, right? That's where dentists have to keep their crying on the inside. So it's so key what you're doing. You dig into the details of practice transitions, Mary. Tell us, like, what details are you digging into with your clients when they're ready to buy a practice or looking to buy a practice or have a practice on the table?
Well, with a buyer, when I'm doing buyer's representation, I help them do the pre-due diligence. As most of us know, due diligence starts after an offer to purchase is made, correct? But there's always pre-due diligence. So I help with that as well, looking over the reports, just seeing what the practice is about and if it's a fit for their personality and for their what they want. They can't, I mean, or do they do the same type of services that the seller does? For instance, if the seller does a lot of implants and the purchaser doesn't do any and doesn't intend to, it's not a fit. They're not going to be able to recreate the income.
Being 19 years into this dental career, not 20 years in, the morale of what you do each day is just as important as the money. But I know when you're buying a practice, money becomes important. Let's share with me. Bob Ross used to say happy accidents, right? Oh, this is good that this happened. But what are some sort of sad surprises you sometimes find? Is there not as many active patients? Do they not have a recall system? I know sometimes you might find some sad surprises, and it's great to find them before you buy the practice. Tell us about that.
Well, here, and I want to give sellers their due here. Sellers, the dentist doesn't always know what they think they know about their practice numbers. So when they're filling out their documentation, they may say, we have 98% collections. Well, that's 98% collections of what? Is it the true UCR or is it PPO fees? Another thing, like you said, the active patient numbers. Generally, most do not have a clue. So they'll ask someone in their office and they say, oh, we've got about so-and-so. They're quite often very much wrong there. When you ask them how much of your practice is PPO, they'll say, oh, about 20%. Well, when I get in there and dig in, I find out it's 70% or whatever. So those are some of the things that it's unintentional. The seller is not purposely giving information that's not correct. But it's something that's so important to the buyer because it is going to affect what they're able to do in making money.
And what do I want to jump in and say, because I help with transitions, I own practices, I help buyers too, just like you. The seller is just used to being in that practice for years. So they're not trying to be deceitful. They're just, and some of these stats are not easy to get, right? So I think what you do is just so amazing to dig into this nacho plate with people and tell them what kind of plate of nachos they're going to get. And what you and I both say is the most important decision of your dental career. A lot of times I argue life, because when you sell a practice, you've seen a dentist have multiple spouses, multiple houses in just one practice. So what that means is that one practice likely lives with you for your whole career. So make sure it's the right one. So if someone wanted Mary to reach out to you, tell us a little bit about the onboarding. I know they can text Mary to 215-543-6454. Awesome. Do they jump on a call with you? Do you guys do Zoom? Tell me about that.
Oh, we can do either. Typically, it's a phone call, a get to know you phone call to answer their questions, to see what's going on in their circumstances. Gotcha. Everyone's starting at a different point. Some people have already done their pre-due diligence, is what I call it, and are ready to make send a letter of intent and want some help with that. And, so it just depends on where they are, but it's always going to start with a phone call. I can do a Zoom call. Yeah. I can do text. I've done that, and email. So I just communicate in every way with them. What's most convenient for them is what's most important to me.
And I think one thing I want to bring up before we jump off with you is that you're part of a team that works together through this process, just like dentists work as a team with their root canal specialist. Our patients are unaware. There's probably a patient saying right now, Dr. Paul does root canals. I haven't done one in 20 years. I refer that out to a root canal specialist because that's what they do all the time. So I think deepening the understanding for our Nacho audience of how it really takes this team where the attorney knows what they're doing, the buyer representation knows what they're doing, the account knows what they're doing because they're getting you through this process. So love what you're doing, Mary. So appreciate. We have our text Mary to 215-543-645 text hotline. But do you have a website people could check out if they wanted to or reach out to you via email?
Yeah, it's just thedentalbusiness.com. Email address,
Nice.
Mary at thedentalbusiness.com.
That URL is going to be very, very worth a lot one day, Mary. So you can retire on that URL, thedentalbusiness.com. I like
I've had it for almost 20 years. So
Right. Well, save it for another 20 and then just sell it and ride off into the dental business coach sunset, right? And,
that's right. That's my intent.
Well, thanks for being awesome. You're an awesome contributor in the group. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So as you guys see, you learn all these great things about the circle of dentisting life, how to make good decisions, work on your dental core. Our key resources sponsors are here to help you. I want to share that we have an upcoming CE program soon on digital dentistry. Just text Transcend to 215-543-6454, and we'll text you back a free pass to be able to watch it.